Alright, hey everybody, House of Prep here. This is Jerry. Hope y'all are doing well. I was going to wait and have this video till later when I got home, but the more I've just been sitting and thinking these last couple days, as you know, if you've watched the news whatsoever, the Breonna Taylor results had came out, and up in Louisville, Kentucky, once again, riots broke out. And well, listening to the news, and one thing that I wanted to have you think a little bit deeper on these results. Let's just don't focus as much on the riots and maybe on who's really to blame or not to blame. I want to look at the underlying issues. One of the things that I heard reported was that they knew a couple days in advance that obviously that this was going to be announced, and once they, I guess, realized that what they were going to announce was not going to settle well with people, 2 days before the announcement they began warning the business owners and pretty much told them, you need to board up, you need to get out of Dodge, you need to leave Louisville area here where all this is going to take place, because we are expecting rioters. Just think about that for a second. They're already pre-planning it. They already know this is going to happen. They've seen it with these other cities. They know this is what's going to happen in our city. Not mine, but they're in Louisville, Kentucky. So again, instead of the mayor and the governor, instead of them stepping up and being proactive and calling up and seeing about what can we do for the safety of our businesses, what can we do for the safety of our people, for the safety of our community, for safety in general, what can we do? Do we bring in the National Guard? Do we bring in some extra police support from the state? Instead of trying to control and contain the problem, they pretty much allowed the problem to evolve and pretty much let it be on fire on its own. And just stop and think about that for a minute, that's pretty much being allowed. And I know that this has happened in other states, but now to the point that it's almost like they're weathermen, right? Like we turn on the TV, we're watching our favorite news station, right? And they're talking about sports, one segment, then they go over to the weather on the next statement. They talk about the forecasts of the weather, and then they say, okay, Mike, we're going to go to you, and we're going to go to the riot topics of the night. Well, Gene, thank you. This is Mike here, and I'm going to go over our riots across America. Tonight we're planning on there being riots in such and such cities, and I'm sure there's going to be looting there, and so pack your umbrella, right? So our forecast for the week. Here is the next 5-day forecast with the list of cities that we are expecting riots to be at in the next 5 days. And is that the society that we are now evolving into? Well, hearing that statement that I heard announced on the news, that they were being pre-warned, days before the announcement, before the rioting would even be an issue, no measures were taken. And again, I know that a lot of things are also political right now. I get that. But we're breeding a society of people and encouraging that human nature that can consume certain people, that if something doesn't go your way, that you now have the right to go out and express yourself in any way you seem and deem necessary. You can go out and do whatever you want to show your dissatisfaction for the results that maybe didn't go your way. Whether the results were wrong or right, it doesn't matter. If you're not happy, you're allowed to go do whatever you want. Complete lawlessness. And they're getting the green light to do this. And I want you all to think, what if you were given 2 days notice? The mayor called you up, The governor called you up. They put out an announcement in your neighborhood, in your community, and said you have 2 days to board your homes up and to evacuate your neighborhoods because there are riots that are going to take place in 2 days, and pretty much loot everything you have, destroy things if they so please. They're chosen your area, and they're going to go do this, and we're not going to do anything to stop them. We're not going to do anything to be proactive and to prevent this from happening. That's what they're doing to people and their businesses. That's what's happening. Could it happen at your neighborhood, at your house? You think no, but look what's been happening. It could get to that at some point if this continues the way it's continuing. And are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for a 2-day notice, or maybe even a spur of the notice? Something that just happens out of the blue. Are you prepared? You need to be making sure you are. If you've watched some of my other videos, some of them are fun, some of them are just in general prep ideas, some of them, are talks like this, where we have a heart-to-heart. And this heart-to-heart, I'm telling you, you need to make sure you're still preparing. And if you're on a budget like myself, I understand. You have to plan it, and I do. I went to Walmart again this week, and every time I go, I make it a point, even if it's just 1 or 2 items of something, I'm going to pick up something to put ahead for preparedness and to keep adding to that. I'm always looking for sales. I'm looking for ways to save money, so that allows me to have more money to do more preps. One thing Walmart I noticed, I always check their meats. I look for sales and things. Well, they had put a sticker over all their old stickers on their the Walmart, the flats of chicken, the chicken breast. Normally the flats are 4 to 5 pounds, in that ballpark, and they were marked down to $1 a pound. And a lot of the flats, I could tell they were going fast. And a lot of the flats, they were still frozen, where they were just emptying out their freezers, putting this chicken out there, and all labeling them for $1 a pound. Still had excellent expiration dates. So there was nothing wrong with this chicken. So obviously I'm looking around, I'm like, well, I'm definitely stocking up on some chicken breast and hitting my marinade sections and different ideas for some meals. But to get stocked up ahead on some of this stuff, again, you just need to start looking outside the box. And I'm curious if anybody else has a Walmart out there that's done that. I don't know if that's a typical thing. That's the first time I've seen it for $1 a pound. And maybe they had an influx of some product. I have noticed that at Walmart, yes, they're still struggling to keep some of the shelf stock, but they have stuff. And you can still take advantage of that now. You've been given the window of opportunity to keep prepping, to keep adding to your stash, to get organized, get your house in order, get things ready. So again, I just needed to take this time. I don't know if anybody else had paid attention that people were actually now, hey, I guess we should be thanking these governors and mayors of these different states, right? We should be applauding them and thanking them. Well, hey, at least you're giving your people heads up, right? Huh? Should we be giving them credit for that? For giving, heads up and at least a 2-day notice, right? And they did their citizens a justice, right? They're doing them a good service by giving them a couple days notice. Really? Your stuff's gonna be destroyed in 2 days. So we're being upstanding mayor and an upstanding governor by giving you a 2-day head start and a notice before the rioters come and take and destroy everything, right? Isn't that the best thing that they've done? So, look, I appreciate you all out there. I love getting advice off of some of you. I hope that some of the encouragement that I'm giving and some of the stuff that I'm talking about helps get you thinking. I hope it ignites more of a passion in you. I hope it keeps you alert. When I have these talks, I want you to think outside the box, to look deeper than what's really going on. Look at the agendas that are on the underlying, under the surface, right? Like an iceberg out in the ocean, and all you see sometimes is just that little bit that's sticking out, right? But you got the tons and miles of iceberg that is all buried underneath the water, and that could be super dangerous for ships going by if they're not looking for that. Well, it's kind of like life, folks. You got to be looking. You have to be paying attention. Look under the underlying meanings, and just get yourself prepared. Again, you don't want to live in fear. We've talked about that. You don't want to live that way, but you don't want to be a reactor. You don't want to be the one who you've gotten a 1-day notice or 2-day notice, or everything hit the fan today, and now you're running out last minute fighting the crowds and fighting stuff because you didn't get anything, and now there's nothing that you can get, and now you're stuck. And pretty much a lot of these mayors and governors, and pretty much what they're saying is you're on your own. So once these rioters and things are happening and something happens in life, we're not going to be there for you. So you kind of have to be prepared to take care of yourself and take care of your family. So thank you very much for this short little time together. And if you are watching this and you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the little bell so you get reminded, and check out some of my other videos that I've had on my channel. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good one.